Hey guys, and welcome back to Trials and Tribulations. In the last part, we were just about to start cross-examining Dalia, and we're going to start that now. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. Let's do it. Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes, as a tutor. You were tutoring him, Mr. Falls? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14. He probably came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls. Did I hear him right? Did he just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? Okay. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million. $2 million?! It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk. Jeez, that's a huge rock. A $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that. The defendant demanded that her sister, Valerie, make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety. What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is. Yeah, right. It was all your plan. Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain, and after she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. Why didn't she just shoot him then? Jeez. That was a dangerous thing to do, considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually, that saved my life. What do you mean? You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow, I just knew he was going to use it. I knew that he was going to use that knife to kill me. ... exclamation point. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. Yeah, whatever. That's why Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. Yeah, we just saw this. I was dazed. I turned to try to run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second, and he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin. Oh, really? Bloodthirsty grin? Ooh, jaundiced eyes. And in the next instant... Who filmed it? Because they were standing in the river. I advise the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift. I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. The crumbling bridge, nowhere to run. It wasn't crumbling, it was... Never mind. Then just one little shove from behind. That was it. Alright, before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. She was nowhere near you. She would have never even had a chance to catch you. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. Let's see here. I think I already know what to do here. Dusky Bridge map? Yes. See? If she fell from right there, she would have hit the rocks. Kaboom. You and your stupid red hair can suck it. You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. Dad hair flip. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible. Impossible? I asked that the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge, now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. Probably impossible, given the fog and the fact that it's a rope-held wooden bridge. The fog would have gotten to it eventually. Anyway, or at least the vapor from the water. Or, well, Water vapor has bad effects on both wood and rope, especially over 5 years, but anyway. If someone had pushed you from behind, as you've claimed... Owie, rocks. Instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. ... Do you understand now, Dalia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Ah! Yeah, what? Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. H. Smack. You're right. If the events had occurred just as the witness has testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this? You see, God, those eyes. I love that look on his face. It looks a lot more comical on old Edgeworth than grown-up Edgeworth. Anyway, just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. But what do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Smack. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct? Now that you mention it, I do remember now. When I fell off the bridge, my skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious! Smack, 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 lies, lies, lies. Order, order, order in the court. Jeez, that's a lot of 3 words at a time. It seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Objection! Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could not have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the... Oh wait, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous! What's so impossible about it? God, I love that face. Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. Okay. What? Okay, Valerie's autopsy. No. No. Scarf. No. Witness's photo. Bridge unchanged for 5 years. What? Oh, okay, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's it. Kaboom. Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. No! But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. Ah! And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. Ugh. Dad hair flip. Oh God, sorry. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge, that's clearly impossible. Gah! God, so over the top. Order, order! What is the meaning of this? What do you... Never mind. Stupid judge. Dalia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? Oh, okay, fine. Indeed. What do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun in handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into the raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river? The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of Eagle River. Diamond. She jumped in for Pokemon Diamond. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dalia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond. No! It can't be! Yes, Dalia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was gonna keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. Bang. Haha, he jumped. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Why, that's simply ridiculous! No, it's not. That's actually pretty freaking logical. Smack, smack, smack. Order, order, order! Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? Okay. I'm sorry. I know Dahlia's evil, but really, like, faking a kidnapping and getting away with the ransom is not exactly something I'd call demonic. Like, murdering people... Like, murdering multiple people for no reason. That's what I would consider demonic. But this, sorry, I don't consider this demonic. This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years, or conscience. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dalia, and then she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do? She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. Who is that, laughing at a time like this? Forgive me. It's just hilarious. Witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman. Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. Well, And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that... Well, Miss Fey? I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Smack! Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Without evidence the trial was over? Who decided that? Mr. Armando! Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dalia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Falls' stolen car and then went to meet with him, disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. And I think we'll find out about that one last person next time. So, see you guys then.